If you ask any marketer online how to market online, you'll get a different answer from each one, and that's what makes the internet so unique. Is everybody has their way of doing what they do online, and and not everything works for everybody. And with me, I've been rolling out some of these ClickBank products, and I've had several people ask me, could you create a video walk through the process so that we can see what you do? And I figured I would just turn the camera on, let it run, and if you like it, fantastic. If it doesn't make sense to you, no problem. I'm sure with a little bit of education, it'll all come together and make sense later on when you watch this video again. But for the most part, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the details. I'm just going to burn through this. If you're familiar with ClickBank, you know how to go search for a product. In this example, I've already selected one and done a little pre-work before this video, so I'm just going to run with the one that I chose. I went with this Dish TV for PC, 1938. I'm going to go ahead and click this promote link. You can learn a little bit about the gravity score and so forth later on in another video. I click this create. This is going to be the link that I use. This is what tags my ID through the ClickBank process and make sure I get credit for the sell. I'm going to need that for later on in this presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and close that down. And usually what I like to do is I open up a notepad or something on the computer that I'm going to use for just scratch notes, and I'm going to throw that link in there. So everybody make a mental note. That is my ClickBank link. Next thing I do is I visit the actual website itself, and I look at it, make sure everything looks good, and then usually what I'll do, I'm on a Mac and I can do a crop tool. I just basically grab the artwork from the website. Once I grab that artwork, I'll show you a little bit about what I do to it to create my offers. So once I have that artwork, I open it up in Photoshop. I'm just going to jump over here real quick, and I take this and I render a new image that's similar to this. And I have a white box here because the strategy I'm going to use is I'm going to build a new campaign using this offer, and I'm going to do it in the Ad2action platform, and this is where my lead form is going to go. Now what you'll need to understand is I have some strategy to the madness here. My goal isn't just to send that traffic to this link and hope that they convert. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send the traffic to a preliminary link or a link that's in between the traffic and that destination link, and my goal is to capture their contact information so that I can deliver the proper offer to them, and then in the future deliver them more offers. Kind of like setting up a sequence of offers for them. So each person that comes in, I capture their data, and then I can put them into a sequence. And if I know that they like, for example, 3,500 channels on TV, then chances are they may be interested in DVD or movie products and other items that I can cater to them specifically. It's all about target marketing. So once I have that done, I do a little bit of Photoshop work, and I'm not going to get into how I do this. There's tons of Photoshop tutorials out there you can watch, but the fact is that's how I lay out my pages. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to jump back over here to, so I've got my marketplace, I found my product, I've got my link. Next thing I'm going to do is I jump over to the Ad2action system. And inside the Ad2action system, I simply click this new button here. Let me go ahead and make sure you see that. Click the new button there. I select the option to generate leads, not sell products. This is going to be my ClickBank demo. You simply name your campaign. This is really for tracking analytics, making sure you understand which one you're working with. I click continue there, and this is something anybody can learn how to do. It's not very challenging. Ad2action, for some of you watching this video, is a system that allows you to create landing pages and offers. And you may be wondering, why am I replicating an offer or creating an additional offer? Again, it's to capture that data so that I can market more effectively to that individual on the go-forward basis. So inside here, it walks you through 4 basic steps: selecting a design, setting up your settings, content, and email responders. I'm going to simply select this option here, which is custom template. I'm not going to go with one of their pre-designs. I'm going to scroll down here, and the type of marketing I'll be doing today is CPV marketing, and I'll explain that and show you basically how I do my research on that. But I'm going to use a CPC 750 by 575. This is going to be a centered ad. And with CPV networks, each one of them have different specific sizes for their pop-ups, and some need to be centered, some need to be floated to the left with zero margins. The one that I'm going with is direct CPV. I'll provide a link to the actual direct CPV if you watch this video and you want to sign up. So I'm going to go ahead and select the CPV center. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, and this allows me to upload the background images and kind of customize this campaign. You noticed earlier in this Photoshop I created this image here. That's nothing more than a Photoshop image. I then selected a gray background, and it's just a simple box. Both of these are JPEGs, pretty easy to create if you know some Photoshop. So the first one I'm going to upload is going to be that gray box. So I'm going to jump over here, and that's going to be called background main. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And then the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to say display wrapper image. I'm going to browse, and I'm going to go what's called my inner 5. That's the one I created, and you may have to go back and forth to get it to fit in just fine, but I agree to the terms and conditions. I upload that image. And what this is basically doing is taking the framework of the 750 by 575, and it's including all my graphics and artwork into it. I hit save and continue. And so up to this point I selected my ad, I did a little bit of Photoshop work, and now I have created my campaign. And I'm just going to go ahead and continue now through the process. If you hit the save and continue, it takes you to the next step, so it kind of works from left to right. Now on this one, it asks me what type of data I want to collect on my lead form. I don't want a phone number on the internet. Less is more. The less you ask for, the more it converts. And then what's cool about the Ad Action platform is I can be notified on my cell phone every time that somebody completes a form. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in my cell phone number there, and I'll just put in a fake one for now. And then I'll select my carrier, Sprint for instance. And then the next process I do is I'm just going to click the save and continue button. Now, so what I've done up to this point is I've configured my lead form, the data I'm going to capture. I've set up my notification on my cell phone so that I know every time that my ad is being viewed and somebody is acting upon it. The next step of the process is to create what's called an offer page and a thank you page. Now the way I'm going to do this offer is I'm going to create an offer page, and instead of redirecting them to the thank you page, I'm going to redirect them to that previous link, if you remember this one here from ClickBank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this edit content. And the very first thing I do, so I don't forget this, is while that's loading, I pull up this here, and I'm going to copy my ClickBank link, and then I'm going to minimize that, and I go ahead, and the very first thing I do is I jump up here, and there's a section called redirect, and I click on this redirect, and it says use custom redirect URL. I'm going to select this here, and then I'm going to paste that link in there, and what that's going to do is redirect, and that means when they fill out that form they're going to be redirected to this offer. And then I want to make sure I select this open in new window. It's very important you select this if you're using CPV marketing, because CPV uses a pop-up ad, and oftentimes those pop-up ads are done in an iframe, and your page there's no scroll bars or any controls on the page of that ad. So when they fill out that form and hit submit, we want the new page to launch outside of that ad, if that makes sense. So we want to make sure it opens up a new window. I save changes. And now the rest is pretty simple. I'm just going to delete out this text here, and I can do a couple of returns with the enter key. I'm going to select all this default text here. I'm going to delete it because most of the text on this page is already created using just my Photoshop file. I don't have to worry about adding a bunch of content. And then what I do is I usually just continue to return down until the page is complete. And then right here there's a little red box above this form area. I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to say download your copy today. Okay, I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to highlight this, and this is just a typical WYSIWYG editor. I was able to access this by double clicking inside that red area. I'm going to go ahead and select some red text. I'm going to make it bold, and I'm going to make this size about, I think about 16 or 14. Let's go with that. And then I click this update content and close. And then I'm going to take here and I'm just going to return this down until it lines up with my ad. And then this absolutely free will not work, so I double click on this, and I want to get, and by double clicking it, it opens up a really cool action button area, and I'm going to hit the Get It Now tab, and I'm going to select the green Get It Now, and I'm going to hit Insert, so you can see how that just changed out. And if you want to increase the size of this font, again, if it doesn't look right, this is where you can do a little bit of tweaking and playing around with it. I might go with a 20, and maybe I'll do download your copy today, and then I might take that and center it and update the content and close. It's always nice to have your text when you're doing call to actions to kind of make it an upside down pyramid shape so it draws the eye into the form. So little things like that make a big difference. Alright, so that's our ad. As you can see, it's complete. Everything there is ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and then that saves it. There's a little preview button here. If I want to add SEO and keywords and all the fun stuff, I would use some of these other buttons up here. But for now, I'm just going to hit save, and then I'm going to preview that, and it'll launch a new window. And I'll be able to see the final product on the preview. So that's what my ad is going to look like. That's going to pop up for my traffic. And when I fill out that form, it redirects me to my offer. I'm going to go ahead and close the editor. Hopefully you're following along with me on this, and it makes sense so far. The next thing I do is I don't have to worry about my thank you page because I redirected it to my offer. I'm going to go right into my email responders. Now, I told you that I already created this campaign and I already worked on it a little bit so that this video would go a little bit smoother. So I'm going to stop on this campaign at this point in time, and I'm going to jump over to the campaign that I built earlier because I already have my email responders inside of it. So